If you're someone that uses positive affirmations but you don't feel like you're seeing the results from them, then I'm going to tell you what I think you've been doing wrong and how you can fix it. So first off, let's talk about what affirmations actually are. So people describe them very differently, but basically they're short sentences or phrases that you repeat over time. You can write them down, you can listen to them, you can repeat them to yourself, and the idea behind them is that after so much repetition, your brain starts to absorb them into its subconscious, you start to believe them wholeheartedly, and then they show up as true in your life. Some people even refer to them as scientific prayers, because obviously when we pray, we're praying for an outcome, we're praying for something we want to happen. Hopefully we're infusing that prayer with belief, and then over time we want to see that result happen in our lives. However, a lot of people use affirmations day in and day out, but they don't seem to be seeing the changes or the results that they necessarily had hoped for. This includes myself. I'm a big fan of affirmations, but for the longest time I would repeat my affirmations, I would listen to affirmation tracks, but I wasn't really feeling it and I wasn't really seeing the long-term results that I'd hoped for. And here's the reason why. Here's the big problem with affirmations. Here's the key. Your affirmations have to be believable and realistic in order for them to work. It really is that simple. If you don't believe in them, they're not going to work for you. Your faith is the most important thing. Whatever we truly believe in and infuse with emotion is what we are going to manifest into our life. So if you're repeating these affirmations, no matter how amazing they sound, if you don't believe in them, they're not going to work. And this is where people fail time and time again when it comes to affirmations. They write these affirmations, or they listen to them, or they repeat them to themselves, and they're just so big, they're just so far-fetched that it almost seems overwhelming and just completely unbelievable. And if that's where your starting point is, if you're coming from this from a place of I don't believe that any of this is even possible for me, then you're not going to get to where you need to go. Say for example, you want to start your own business and become a rich, successful CEO, entrepreneur, right? But right now, you don't have a job, you're living with your parents, and you don't have a lot of assets. If you start with affirmations like, I am the first millionaire of my family, I am a CEO, I own 5 businesses, I have a mansion, I own 3 luxury cars, I own a yacht, those things may seem so far off and far-fetched that you're just not going to buy into it, you're not going to believe it, you're going to end up maybe feeling a little bit ridiculous, and you're just going to be straight back where you started. And in fact, you might even feel worse for using those affirmations because it's highlighting all the things that you don't have. So the key here, instead of doing that, is to take the baby steps. You could start off with affirmations like, I make smart decisions with my money. You could say, I am learning more and more about my business every day. I'm capable of handling large amounts of money. I'm capable of managing a team. I'm organized and disciplined. Start with affirmations that you can truly believe and infuse positive emotion into, and then build up to those bigger things over time. Obviously, what is realistic and what is not is different for everybody. Some people have no problem waking up with very little to their name and truly saying and believing that they are a millionaire, that they are going to become, the first millionaire in their family, that they are a successful entrepreneur, that they are the CEO of their own company. For some people that does seem realistic and they can believe that, but for a lot of people it's too much of a jump, and it creates cognitive dissonance where it's we know where we are right now, we know where we want to be, but we just don't see a path there. And don't get me wrong, you don't always have to see a path, but for some of us, we at least need to know the next step to take. Maybe we don't need to see the whole staircase, but we do at least need to see the next step, right? So you need to set your affirmations, you need to make them realistic so that you can see that next little step, that next leap forward. Another example is maybe you want to feel more love for yourself, maybe you want to feel more beautiful inside and out, right? I feel like that's true for a lot of people, myself included. Now, I've listened to a lot of affirmation tracks for self-love, and whilst they can be really, really helpful, there's loads of them on YouTube that you can look up. Again, if you're feeling really down about yourself, if your self-worth and your self-esteem is really low and you're really not liking what you see in the mirror, sometimes listen to these affirmation tracks where it's I'm a Victoria's Secret supermodel. That just doesn't seem relatable or realistic and can just end up making you feel lower, honestly. So instead of even shooting for self-love, when you just really don't even feel worthy, maybe you can start with self-acceptance first. So maybe your affirmation can be, I accept myself exactly as I am right now. Maybe it can just be, I make healthier choices for myself every day. Maybe it can be picking out one thing that you like about yourself instead of trying to say that you love every single aspect of you, because that can be a big ask in today's day and age, right? Where we're all being bombarded with messages about how imperfect we are, and we need this beauty serum, and we need this wrinkle cream, and we need this diet pill, right? Maybe it's just like looking in the mirror and picking one thing that you really like about yourself and focusing on that for the day. So again, the secret to success with your affirmations is all about believability. If you believe it, it will come true. So now that we've chatted about this, what I would recommend doing is getting clear on your goals, getting clear on what you want to affirm into your life. So once you're clear on what you want, then it's a case of saying, okay, this is what I want, so what are the believable affirmations that I can say to myself every day that will help me get there? And you can change them. I think the other thing with affirmations, it's like people tend to think that we need to say these same 3 phrases every single day for a year in order for it to work, but sometimes I feel like that can just go into autopilot. We can sort of disassociate from that. So I honestly think changing up your affirmations even every day if you want is absolutely fine. What I usually do is I journal in the morning. So I get up, I meditate, I journal, then once I finish journaling I write down a couple of affirmations, I read over them, I get those good vibes flowing, and that's what sets me up for the day, and I find that works really well for me. They're not always specific, you know, sometimes they're just general, sometimes it's just I'm grateful for this day, sometimes it's I'm grateful for my friends, family, my dog, sometimes it's I'm attracting good things, I'm attracting money, wealth, success, abundance, whatever it is. But mine kind of need to flow in order for me to actually engage with them, so maybe that's a good tip for you as well. And again, you know, we all absorb information differently, right? So maybe for you writing affirmations down does work, maybe for others it's better to listen to them. So again, as I said, there are affirmation tracks on YouTube, there's probably some on Spotify as well and other places. Maybe you can even make your own. You can just record them on your phone voice recorder and listen to them every day. Another really powerful thing, which I don't personally do but I know other people do, is repeating their affirmations to themselves in the mirror or even silently when they're meditating. That can be a really powerful one as well. There's even some like affirmation style songs on TikTok right now. You can look through the sounds on TikTok if you just write affirmations, positive affirmations. There's definitely been a couple going around right now. There's one about pronoia, which is like the opposite of paranoia, about how you're always expecting good things to happen instead of being afraid of bad things happening. There's obviously the whole lucky girl syndrome trend. There's loads of sounds related to that. Abraham Hicks has loads of sounds on TikTok as well, so there's definitely places where you can find these kind of things if you don't want to listen to your own voice. I actually made a shorter form of this video on my TikTok, so if you're not following me on TikTok, then join me over there because I love TikTok. But I really hope that you enjoyed this video and you got some value out of it. If you do enjoy this kind of thing, please subscribe and leave a comment below and let me know what your believable, realistic affirmation is for today. As always, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.